brought to you in living color on NBC.
From New York, The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson. Johnny's guests tonight are Arlene Dahl, Henry Morgan, famed trial lawyer J.W. Ehrlich, Keith Mountain and his jazz group, Skitch Henderson and his Smoky Boys Orchestra, and me, I'm Ed McMahon. And now, here's Johnny.
Hey, you bunch of drunks. You shouldn't, really, you should not applaud that much on the opening, because you won't have any left for the commercials. And they get the biggest hand of the night. What's with this group tonight? Did you come here honestly now to see the show, or did you get lost on the way to the fair? Now, we got all the people who couldn't make it to the fair today wandered in. The Unisphere will not light up tonight. I'm Johnny Carson. Thank you, sir. No, I say that because last week I've been on the show almost a year, 7 months now. And once in a while you'll run into somebody who has not seen the show. And that happened last week. The lady has been watching the old horror movies, you know, on late night television. And she was sitting about the second row. When I came out, I started to talk and I could hear her. She says, "He's nice, but when does he change into a werewolf?" You know. So that's why little old lady said that. I didn't say she was a funny little old lady. I just said she was a little old lady. So, you know, she's old and she should be kind to elderly people when they're not funny. This is National Secretary's Week. How many of you knew that? Yeah. Have you done anything for Sylvia? No. I mean, lately? No, because that's Skitch's secretary. Right. But, you know, this is National Secretary's Week, and I've got I have probably got the best secretary in the world. Takes dictation, you know, beautifully, writes all my letters. And if I, you know, sometimes you come here, you have a bad day, and you feel all tied up in knots. And my secretary, you know, rubs the back of my neck and massages my temples. And, you know, I don't know what I'd do without Herman. He's really... you see? No, that's not true. I have a beautiful... She's standing right over here. That's my kid. Right over here. That's Jeannie. That's Jeannie. That's my secretary. Come here. Come here. A loyal youngster. No, that's not. That's for real. That's Jeannie Pryor, and she's taller. She's taller than average. You know, and I always keep telling her I'm going to tear her down and put up a housing development, but she isn't. No, she's a great secretary. And she made one mistake she's made in a year and a half. One little mistake. At Christmas, last Christmas, remember when I sent the gifts out? She mixed up a couple of the Christmas gifts. I had a gift for him. And I had a gift for Zsa Zsa Gabor. And she mixed them up at the last moment they went out. And it was kind of embarrassing for a couple of weeks. I mean, you know, the pair of pearl earrings he had. And I got him just in time. He was just having his ears pierced. I said, "Not for you." And Zsa Zsa has still not gotten over the gift certificate for the YMCA, which she's using. But outside of that, well, let's see what's in the news today. Well, of course, the fair is a big thing here in New York. What can you say about it? They had bad weather today, and I haven't been out to it yet. Cold. How cold is it? Well, you said now it was so cold. How cold is it, Skitch? I see. All right. Ring, I told him, I think. But I haven't been to the World's Fair. But I'm from the Midwest. I was born in Iowa, lived in Nebraska, and I remember the fairs back there. Now, those were really fairs. Unless you've been to the Pottawatomie County Fair in Iowa, you haven't really been to a big fair. We had the greatest exhibit, if I can remember this, 1933, was the World of Tomorrow. That was our big exhibit, and what it was a counter of men's socks. And people came in, that was it, the World of Tomorrow, yes. And people just come miles around and say, it'll never work, never work. Just a counter. And no Unisphere, it was just a big pumpkin. But they had all the things that they have now. Yes, like they had a beauty contest. And I still remember the girl who won it. Zelda Mucky. Zelda Mucky was Miss Plowfurrow of 19... Nobody knows what a furrow. You know what a furrow is? He wouldn't know what a furrow was, but Zelda. And didn't have much entertainment. Belly dancing was not big then, but they did have one belly dance, I remember, at the Pottawatomie Fair. And she was very shy. And she wouldn't shake. And she got out there. So they gave her an air hammer, one of these pneumatic wheels. She not only danced, but tore up the street at the same time. I don't know whatever happened to Zelda. But those were just some of the highlights. But tonight, I think you're going to have a good time tonight. We have Mr. Henry Morgan with us. We have Arlene Dahl. And we have a great lawyer. Criminal lawyer, written many books. He might have written a book, I don't know. No, the series Sam Benedict was based on the exploits of this gentleman. Mr. Jake Ehrlich from San Francisco is with us, and we have Pete Fountain and some Dixieland jazz and all kinds of wild things. So we'll have a word from your local station, and we'll be right back. All right. Music time, friends. I see by the old clock on the wall. They always say that. Hey, fella?
What is it? What's up?
You ready to go? What are we going to have tonight?
Oh, we're going to have something reserved for 5.
Is that the name of it?
Yes.
Newt?
It's reserved for the saxophone section, headed by Mr. Schertzer.
Wonderful group. Wonderful group.
And Mr. Klink and Mr. Newsom exchanged pleasantries and improvisation.
On the show?
Yes, they do.
I see. All right. Okay.
How is this in 3?
Who knows? There's unrest in the troops tonight. Something is brewing. I don't know what it is. You plugged in the still again. Oh, it's First day in the world. I had a telegram here just before the show. Or somebody sent it in. It says, in the audience tonight will be 6 top 4-H members from Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Oregon, Texas, and Vermont. And they are in New York as part of the annual 4-H report to the nation, and they have a small gift for you. Wasn't that nice? Where are the young ladies and gentlemen? You got a spokesman for the group up there? Come on, that spokesman? Hey, there's a spokeswoman. Gee, I would hate to lose you on the way down here. That's tricky coming down those stairs. You are Claudia Truex, is that right?
Right.
You're from Indiana, huh?
Yes, sir.
How long you in New York for?
We arrived yesterday and we'll be here till Saturday.
You having fun?
Wonderful time.
I'm very familiar with the 4-H.
We were out at the fair.
Were you out there today?
Right.
Cold? What do we got, huh? Just 20 seconds? We'll hold it over and come right back at the top of the show for a couple of seconds. Is that all right with you? People don't know. They don't know the 4-H's. Head, heart, hands, and health, right?
That's right. There's 2.25 million of us over the United States right now.
I know. It's a great, great organization. Having been born in Iowa, Nebraska, I know all about it. We'll be back in just a second after a word from your local station. We'll see what we got here. Hold on. Back home again in Indiana.
From New York, The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson. Johnny's guests tonight are Arlene Dahl, Henry Morgan, famed trial lawyer J.W. Ehrlich, Pete Fountain and his jazz group, Skitch Henderson with the NBC Orchestra, and me, I'm Ed McMahon. And now, here's Johnny.
They're nuts, aren't they? Absolutely nuts. The young lady sitting on my right is Claudia Truex. She's from Indiana, and she's with a young group of people back here for the National 4-H convention, or just a trip, or
No,
what?
it's our report to the nation where we're trying to spread our story across the country.
I understand you were in Washington, or are you going to Washington?
We've been to Washington. We were received yesterday in the White House by Mrs. Johnson.
Must have been quite a thrill.
Oh, wonderful experience.
I'll bet it is. And you brought me a little something. I don't know what it is yet.
Hope you got some papers to keep down here. Looks
A
like
little
you got
paperweight
info.
with a 4-leaf cover with the
Right.
4-H's on. Isn't that sweet? Well, that's very nice. Yes, I do have some papers. Should keep. I'll send out. Do I have any papers, Gene, on my desk? Send upstairs and get some papers. My desk is very clean, but I'll get some papers. Claudia, hope you have a nice time, and thank your group for me.
Thank you
very
very
much, huh? Thank you, Claudia, baby. Now, the number here in... Why, you have a nice guest on like that, and you got to play a playoff like that, like a nightclub, you know.
Little.
Oh,
Oh, a little Indiana.
welcome back to whatever we're doing here tonight. It's a good group tonight.
Yes.
Not often you see an audience bring in their own maypole, you know, when they come to the show. All right. I started this last night, but what did we do last night?
We ran out of time.
That's what happened. We get a lot of new products. People send us things, you know, that they've invented or they're promoting, and some of them have some worth, and some of them are just new products. Well, I'd like to show you some of these new products tonight. Where's the doormat we had the other night? That's gone? We showed that last night, didn't we?
That's now an old product.
It was new. It was a big doormat, had an X on it, and it was a doormat for illiterates. It was a new product. There's not a big call for that, but once in a while, somebody will come in and say, one of them. And they sell them one of those. But here is a gift idea. Now, a jar contains very, very germs for the man that's had everything. You see? I don't know how this will go, but it is out. All right.
It's new.
Here's a new product. These are a license plate with changeable numbers. Now, this is a gift idea, you see, for the people who've fallen behind in their car payments. And these are interchangeable, you see. You take these off and move this, you know, wherever you want to.
That's nice.
Isn't that clever? You see? A412, and the next day it's 412. That's another little item there. That's annoying. What else do we have here? This is a grocery bag, but what makes this one different is it's a bottomless grocery bag. So rather than the milk bottles falling through when you're almost home, they fall through right at the store, saving you all of that mess at home, you see. A Lawrence Welk bagel. Coming out. I don't know how it'll sell. Now, here's a brand new idea. These are bottles of whiskey, you see, but one of them has they're sold as a set. One has a light bulb in it, you see, to help you find it after you drink this one. This stays lit, you see, until you finish.
While you're getting.
That's right, and this is kind of a homing radar light, you see, when you come back. This is something new here. This has a regular working light. It's a novelty. It's for car drivers whose battery is running low. Ha ha. Oh. Some of these new products are not particularly amusing either. We just said they were new. We didn't say anything else. I don't even know what this is myself. It's a belt with a rear view mirror. Oh, it's for women who are wearing tight capri pants for the first time and want to see, you know, that everything is, you know, just a casual check once in a while. All right. What is that? Not seeing it very good. Oh, this is a pair of men's Bermuda shorts with lace, and that is sold as a set. That comes with boxing gloves. And I'm sure you can see why. If you wear these, you may need these. And, oh, I didn't see this one. It's a new purse made of genuine cowhide with 4 handy lipstick compartments. Genuine cowhide and, well, those are just some of the new products that are coming. And I wish it would bring them in. Here's a guy I've been wanting to have on the show for a long time, but he always seems to be at a different place when we're here. And so it's, luckily it worked out this time. So it's with a great deal of pleasure that I can welcome this great musical group. What is it? We're having trouble with the audio again. Now we're okay. Just one of those little things that happens on a well-rehearsed show like this, the audio. A great group and Mr. Pete Fountain. Pete? The Yellowbirds. You gotta have color to see these jackets, huh?
Oh,
Well, what do we look? We look so drab.
next to that we do. That's
Yeah.
perfect for what they're selling.
That was Pete Fountain along with Jack Sperling and Godfrey Hurst and Stanley Wrightsman and Oliver Felix, and they will be back later, and we'll do a
A bit of Avalon.
whole big thing. That's a great song. Great group. Hmm? They have a recording? Really? I shouldn't see the cover on this. Is that too much? South Rampart Street Parade. Where did he get that costume? Huh? And Pete Fountain's New Orleans, and I will show you these later. But this is great. Dogtown Strutter, South Rampart, Washington and Lee, Farewell, Over the Waves. Gee, I could listen to that stuff all night long. If you're that kind of a man, you could go for 2 hours of that. Speaking of stunning looking girls, notice the segue?
What a tie-in.
Here is a beautiful, she's been on the show 3 or 4 times, I think. Great motion picture career, and in her spare time, she's an authoress and she's a beauty consultant. And would you welcome, please? Are you all ready, gentlemen? Miss Arlene Dahl. Good boy. No, I'm sickened. I'm not touched at all. I thought that was going to be so beautiful. And the fellow's been practicing for, 20, 30 seconds.
Who thought of that? Wonderful song.
Our producer.
Pitch, did you?
I thought of that.
Did you really?
Yes, but I didn't know it was going to come out like that, or I wouldn't have thought of it at all. Did you have any singers in that group?
Yes, Doc sings beautifully.
Doc sings...
We'll put it down.
You'll excuse us for a moment. This is Doc Severinsen, who plays trumpet and sings.
Oh, you beautiful girl, you bring me beautiful home.
They're going to come and get you some night. They're going to show up with a plastic bag, and that's the last we'll see. Right to the funny farm. What are you doing up there?
He really has a quality. He has a quality, though.
Yes, he does.
He really has a quality. I've never heard anything like it before.
Well, Doc's from out in Oregon? Doc is very shy. Just normal, the music.
I know what the quality is now. It's a southern quality that I detected there. Wasn't that it?
No, I say, old dear, I believe you've got it wrong.
He's a comedian.
Wait till you hear his Jimmy Cagney. All right, now.
Well, that's very sweet anyway. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, fellas.
And welcome back.
Thank you.
You look lovely as usual.
Well, I always feel...
Is it any of a hazard to be pretty? I meant to say it's a serious question. Well, I mean, did used to get my books carried home, but I had long blonde curls, you know.
You see?
And that kid, when I cut those curls off, was he? Oh, been carrying my books for 4 years. No, I mean.
And then the girls started to carry your books.
No, but they always say if somebody is 16. Now, I meant as a compliment. It was very, very pretty. Is that a hazard? I mean, you get a certain amount of jealousy or anything at all?
No, I got my books carried home too.
That I can believe.
Mm-hmm.
That I can believe.
My curls pulled and all full of ink, and you know. But I don't think that's a hazard. That's fun. That's part of life.
What have you been doing since I saw you last? What kind of reactions did you have last time you were on the show?
Well,
Because we talked about your book.
Oh, I know. I had lots of letters from relatives in Minnesota, and I think they misunderstood us, Johnny. You know, when we were talking about the book, Always Ask a Man, and I mentioned some of the chapter headings, they thought I'd written a book called Instant Sex, you know. And
that term was used.
Yes, it was, but it was just one of the titles, the chapter headings, and we didn't explain it, you see, that I wanted to, and so do men, you see. No, they might think they're against it to begin with.
Long courtships.
The long courtship, yes. It's like, you know, it's like we don't have coffee anymore. We don't grind the coffee, those little kernels, you know.
Beans,
coffee. Beans, yes. We don't grind.
You're thinking of sour mash whiskey. You see, beans.
Well, yes, we don't grind them anymore. And, you know, that coffee used to be so wonderful. I remember in Minnesota, my great aunt used to get the beans, the coffee beans, and she used to put them in one of these little old-fashioned grinders and grind it. And the aroma was marvelous.
You can still do that.
Yes, you can, but nobody bothers anymore. This is the point, you see. Nobody bothers with the build-up and the wonderful way to grind the coffee and the looking forward to the end product, you know. All we do is reach for a bottle of instant coffee and put something in, and, you know, that's it. Well, this is the whole idea behind the chapter, you see. I'm for the long courtship. And that's...
Grind it yourself, in other words.
Grind it yourself.
I don't even know what that means. I really don't know what that means. No, I'll tell you one thing I have against about all that instant stuff. The other night I was trying to get one of those bags open that things come in. It's a pet hate of mine. I don't know what they do. You know, the frozen stuff, and it comes in one of those plastic or...
Yes.
And they sear it together. You ever try to get one of those things open?
Yes,
You can't get them open. You have to get a knife and attack the things.
Mm-hmm.
They weld them
and then
together.
everything goes like this, and then you're an hour on the kitchen floor trying to put it back.
Wish they think of something else. What do you really need? We got a cup?
Well, I think we need it over on this side.
All right, there's a cup and a
Yes.
tea with tea regular.
No, but your vibrations have to get into it, so you have to pour the tea in there. You can't just have the leaves. You know, after this article you were talking about, and I think it was in one of the Sunday supplements a couple of weeks ago, I got so many letters containing tea bags. You know, dear Miss Doll, will you read my leaves?
You can't read
bags.
Oh, you can't read a tea bag.
Well, it's
What do you
not
need to
easy, you know, with just a dry tea bag.
You want a cup, or is it just
It
mine?
has to be in the cup. No, but are you prepared to drink a few?
Oh, I have to drink a little first.
Oh, yes. You see, that's very important. We'll have a moment of silence while he...
You know, they have quite a few of these places in New York where you can go to have your tea leaves read.
And you've never had your tea leaves? Well,
Never, then I can...
Good? Is it cold?
It's not really hot enough.
No, it's not.
But does that make
One
any
more
difference?
sip, and then we'll pour out the rest.
Well, now, why do you have to drink it? Is that because you're you get personally involved with it?
Well,
Well, I mean,
see, your vibrations go into the cup, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I certainly hope so.
How do you vibrate tonight? Pretty strong?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you're going
see.
to tell me. No,
Now, hand me is there cream in there?
yes.
Oh, it's going to be very messy. Then we better put it back in the pot. Let's pour out about a fourth of this.
Pour out about a
Yes,
fourth.
just a fourth, and leave a little liquid in the bottom. And I'll show you next what to do. Yes.
Is that too much or no?
No, that's fine. Now, I tell you what to do. You take the cup like this and rotate it. And as you pour out the rest of this, so the leaves are around the lip of the cup. Let's get a few more leaves. Reach in there and just dip in, get a few more leaves, because we want a good person here.
Is that enough?
Oh, that's marvelous.
How's that?
Oh, that's marvelous.
That
Oh,
enough?
all of it. All of it. All right. Now, that's fine. Now, it's pretty messy, huh?
Now, what do I do?
Now, you take it between your hands, the cup, and you pour out the rest of the liquid in here. Yes. Rotate the cup as you go. No, Johnny. Slowly, like this. Like
Oh, I-
Oh, yes, that's it. That's why we have an extra saucer, because it gets a little messy. Falling leaves. Oh, that's perfect. Right on cue.
Now, we're going to come back and you're going to read these?
I'll try my best.
All right, we'll be back. Put it upside down.
Put it upside down.
We'll be back when you read it in a moment. Pure discipline. What was that? Now.
Now, you ready?
Arlene says she's never read tea leaves with, you know, with a music in between.
With a musical background. It's wonderful.
Does this change the reading at all?
I don't know. We'll have a very musical fortune.
No, for those of you who just joined us, I
No.
drank some tea, I moved this around, rotated, poured out the excess water, and turned the cup upside down.
Now you make a wish.
I make a wish. Do I have to tell what the wish is?
No, you mustn't tell. Just make a wish. Close your eyes, make a wish. Just one, Johnny. Just one wish.
I know, but it's so good, I don't... All right, I've made a wish.
Now, thinking about the wish, turn the cup around 3 times clockwise.
1, 2.
Thinking about your wish?
Yes.
All right. You know, you've got so many wishes. It's all on the outside of your cup. This is what you mean. What means your cup runneth over. You see.
Oh, I see.
All on the outside.
I've only had one wish.
Well, oh my goodness.
What? But they always start that way.
Well, I tell you, would you like to know how this is done? It might be interesting for you. Can the camera get this cup?
Our camera can do anything.
I got my...
We have a director used to direct tea leaf readings. Came directly from that to this show.
It's the only one in the country.
That's
Well,
right.
this is December, and this is June.
Why?
January, February, March. Well, this is the way it's done.
Oh, I see, on the zenith.
Like it, you see. Oh, my goodness. Look at all the hearts around you. Isn't that marvelous? Your wish starts coming true right here, and it's next to your heart. That's wonderful.
Oh.
It's a personal wish, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, sure.
Well, of course it's a personal wish. Yes.
But I mean rather than professional.
Yes, it's a personal wish.
Yes, yes. Oh, it's marvelous.
I gave up wishing professionally a long time ago. It's all personal wishes now.
No, it starts coming true almost immediately. And let me see. Oh, my goodness. Not on the show. No, any minute, but not on the show. And then there's a large tree. You're going to move also, but this isn't until June. End of
Move
May.
where? No.
Well, you're going to have a new house. So somebody's going to give you a piece of land, and they want you to come down. It's going to be in the Caribbean or someplace like that, Florida maybe or something like that. Anyway, it'll happen in May or June. There's a new place of residence right there.
Oh.
See
You know, I
that?
was making fun of this a while ago. Now, it was getting too close.
See, that's a new tree. You see?
Yeah.
See that tree?
Yes.
Well, that's you. That's a new... And there's a butterfly right next to it, which means it will bring you great personal happiness. Marvelous. A great good luck thing. You will also be asked to do another show on another network.
I'll take it. I mean, that's what's hurt me before. I jump at those things. What do you mean I can't work for another network?
Do you sing at all?
Well, no, we've been kidding about it. I'm going to sing some night on the show, so...
Oh, good. Marvelous, because it'll be a great success. You have talents that you haven't exploited yet. Did you know that? Professional talents that you haven't exploited. And really, he's loaded with talent.
Yes.
You're going to get a windfall of money in August, but you're going to have to work awfully hard for it.
That's
And
right.
it's not coming through the stock market. Also, you're going to do something entirely different that you've never done before in about 2 months. And you're surrounded by dancing girls. Are you going to do a musical or something? In about
No.
2 months?
No.
Well, there's a showgirl here.
Where? Oh, right there in the tree.
Right.
That's Zelda Mucky.
No, it looks like she's on a stage performing someplace. And
Well, I'm going to be in Las Vegas in July.
that's it. There it is. Right there. Okay, we'll go on from there.
What do you see bad? I mean, enough of the good things.
I don't look for anything bad, so I never see anything bad.
Well, I mean, if you did look for something bad, I mean, you
Nobody
know...
wants to applaud. You may applaud.
No, but I won't. That's all very nice, but don't you see...
No, all right. Here in October, you'll have 3 decisions to make. And it might concern a... Are you expecting a baby?
Not that I know of.
You could very well be expecting by October. How do you feel?
Is that right?
Yes.
Like you got hold of some bad leaves there. No births are imminent.
Well, you better check with your wife tonight, just the same, okay?
All right.
Now, in January, a whole new turn of events is going to happen. You're going to have 2 homes. It may be one in New York and one on the coast, or one in New York and one in Europe, but you're going to have 2 homes, and you're going to bicycle back and forth, or fly, or however you get places. You might even take a rug after this. And it's wonderful, but you'll be working twice as hard, of course. But you may be making twice as much money. And you have a chance to exploit all your talents.
Now, Buck.
He's going to be just fantastic. He's going to be so successful. Well, he is already, but I mean even more so.
Do you see all that in those leaves there?
Yes. Are you next?
Got to use the same leaves?
No.
Why not? It was a good reading. Why don't you...
It wasn't bad. I'll take it.
Put my reading on his tab. I wonder if Henry has ever had his tea leaves read.
Don't believe so.
Henry would, disavow the whole thing immediately. I would be willing to bet you that he'll say there's nothing into it. Mr. Henry Morgan. Did you do what you were...
me.
Did you do what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, I rotated and I drained and I poured off a quarter and I added a little sugar and I took out the cream and I dribbled around and I smudged October, unfortunately. But the rest of the year is all in there, and I'm glad to hear about what's going to be with you.
This sounds like a great year for me.
By the way, I don't even use a cup.
You don't use a cup?
Drink?
No. To foresee.
Oh.
You know where your wife is right now?
Yes.
In the theater, right?
That's right.
With Skitcher's wife, right?
That's true.
High spirits, right?
That's right.
Now see what you can do with a cup.
Did you tell him?
No, nothing.
Nobody told me.
That's pretty good.
You just, the waves...
I read fruitcakes. We had a thing going where somebody this afternoon happened to know that Mrs. C and the other lady were going to the theater. And he said, tell Johnny he will fall down. I said, no, he ain't going to fall down. He knows where she is. But isn't that a beaut?
That's funny.
And I know that you've got some Renoirs being framed, and...
You see, I didn't ask Johnny anything. I
How'd
didn't
you
know.
know that?
I didn't know about.
I also read cupcakes.
Now, how did you know that?
Parker.
Oh, he frames my pictures too.
Marvin Parker.
Marvin Parker.
Right on the corner.
You were in there, were you?
63rd and Lex.
Yes.
That's right.
I walked in, he's on the phone with your wife.
What kind of a reading is that? I mean, what you really are is an eavesdropper. What it comes right down for.
I also read picture framers.
You stand around and listen to what people say.
Yes.
Funny, I couldn't have liked them.
If I'd spent another half hour there, I could have everybody in jail.
You could have had me, that's good.
This really, I did that, Arlene.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did all the stuff. What's going to be? Will I make it till tomorrow?
Yes, but you're scattering your forces.
Did you notice that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd concentrate more if I were you, Henry.
Yes,
on what
I
you
would.
really want. Here's a bull right here.
A what?
A bull.
Oh, well, that's Aries. That's my birth date.
No, that's Taurus, the bull.
Well, which bull is that?
That's the Taurus bull right there. And
That's right. I'm born under this bull.
Oh, well, then you're not Aries. You're Taurus.
You got hold of a bad bull. Did you check this bull carefully?
When is your birthday?
Aries is the ram, right?
Yes.
That's what's the matter. That's a ram.
No.
That's a ram arranged to look like a bull.
No, and there's a scorpion right next to it.
Yes.
Is that your wife? Or your mother?
I don't have what you might call a wife, exactly.
You don't?
No, I have an obligation.
Well, when is your obligation's birthday?
Well, I ain't seen this obligation in so many years, I don't know if she has birthdays anymore.
Well, most women don't, but there's a certain month that they hold dear to them.
I really don't know. You see, we were together such a short time, I never got that personal with her.
Ah! What about your mother? When is her birthday?
Feb.
Oh, Aquarius.
Is
Or
that
the
so?
end.
I don't know.
Oh.
See, I always think that this stuff is more or less sort of on the sketchy area where it might turn out to be nonsense, you know? And so I hadn't followed it too closely.
April 14th or something around there?
Who's that, dear?
You.
No, March.
March, the end of March.
Yes. Yes, has to be if it's...
Yes, if it's Aries.
Yes, it's Aries.
Don't ever get your sign mixed up. That's very dangerous.
I know. I've had a lot of trouble with that. Yeah.
No, but there definitely is a bull there. And
Oh, there's a lot of bull in me.
No, but you're going to be associated with this bull in a partnership that has to do with writing.
A writing partner?
Yes.
Say.
It has something to do with the spoken word. or
Yes,
the
I'm in that racket.
And the written word. And
the
there's
written
also
word.
going to be a Scorpio associated with you.
I expect to be nibbled to death by something. Scorpions?
No, you can't approach it with that frame of mind because it's going to be successful and you might just spoil it if you're negative.
Well, it happens that I always wake up in the morning expecting a disaster, and before the day is out, usually my wish is granted.
Yeah, you
Arlene
I
says
was
this
reading
was
the
a
prop
fake
man's
cup.
teacup. That's why. You see, it didn't fit. He's an Aries.
She said right away, she says, this is not your cup. It's the prop man's teacup. Is that true?
This may turn out to be a witch.
I am. I am.
Did you see Peter Herkos the other night when he was on the show?
No, I missed that, but I saw last night when Mel Brooks was talking. I don't know. I say Mel Brooks, I start to laugh.
funny.
Boy, I thought he was so funny.
He was. A great mind.
And he was talking about Peter Herkos, and is he a Dutch fellow?
Yes, he is.
Didn't they bring him to Boston to find a strangler or something?
They did, and it was in Life magazine several weeks ago, and it was most amazing.
I'm a profound believer in none of that, you know.
I know, that's what I say. You're a real skeptic, and so am I, actually.
Yeah.
I'm a skeptic on that, but
Even
he
I saw
has.
you had the original writer skeptic, Twilight Zone, whatever.
Rod Serling.
Rod, and
Yeah.
he says he's never really seen anything to lead him to believe in any other dimension.
Yeah, but now, for example, I know people, I guess everybody's, I've never had the experience myself, and I don't know what you call it, and not a hallucination, but close to that, where they have, at a certain time of the day, or at any time, they have seen something happen, and then later checking, that exact same thing has happened, like if somebody has passed away in the family, or they sense something, and all of a sudden they say, my father, my mother's in trouble or something, and they check, and at exactly that time of day, they got that picture. Now, that's kind of hard to explain.
Well, I could give you a sort of a fake half explanation by using my mother. My mother lives in California, and I live in New York. It's her choice, not mine. She's got a lot of class. No, she just likes to get away from me. And my mother thinks I'm going to call. So it doesn't make any difference when I call. She says, you know, I had a feeling you were going to call.
Well, now, I'm talking about something. I'm talking
Well, it's the
about
same thing. There are people who walk around and say, you know, I think my father just fell off a cliff.
Who walks around saying my father just fell off a
The
cliff?
guy that later says, you know, I had a feeling my father fell off a cliff. He says, by gosh, what do you know? He fell off a
Fell
cliff.
off a cliff. Well, I'm not talking about looking back in retrospect. I'm talking about they will
Oh,
make
he
that
looked at
statement.
his watch. He says, well, time for the old man to do the dive. And he does that every day.
You wouldn't be convinced anyway if somebody came out in a miracle.
Do you know why?
Why?
I think it's hard enough to be alive the way things are going without going into another dimension. If I ever get this one figured out, I'll be willing to go along with it.
But others it is.
Sure, this is
My voice there. All right, men. What happens here? How are we going to kick this whole thing off? Are you going to lead off? All right. Reader, you ready? Troops? All right. Go. You a drummer, too?
Bad.
That's like therapy for me. I just do it to kid around, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, but it's like
That was a
you got
gas,
trade there.
That was a
told you
gas.
you had unexploited talent.
Oh, yeah, lots of
No?
things. Hey, I think you ought to stick around. Those of you who are joined us late tonight, I think we've got the most interesting last half hour of the show tonight. We have Mr. Jake Ehrlich, the famed lawyer with us from San Francisco, and I read the book yet, and it's fascinating. You will enjoy it. You too, I think, Ehrlich. So stay up. Should be a great half hour. Thank you, Pete. That's Pete Fount in the background with the whole troupe. We're going to try to squeeze in another number before we get out of here, maybe late in the show tonight. My next guest is one of the country's most famous and dynamic trial lawyers. In fact, he has a distinguished legal career, and those of you who are familiar with the television show that was on for some seasons, Sam Benedict, was based on a good part on his career. He's written a new book called A Reasonable Doubt, in which he states his definite opinions, speaks out rather boldly and provocatively on a whole number of subjects, from the narcotics addict to censorship to the Fifth Amendment to divorce and etc. He's an extremely interesting man. Would you welcome, please, Mr. Jake Ehrlich? Good evening, Counselor.
Good evening.
I always hear that. They say that on television all the time.
Not on the
Counselor.
Sam Benedict show, they don't.
They don't say that. Why do they always say it in those other series? Counselor all the time. Do
Well,
lawyers talk to each other that way?
No. You ought to hear lawyers talk to each other.
This is a most fascinating book. As I mentioned to you briefly in a little time we had to say hello before the program, I get probably 30 or 40 books a month from people who appear on the show, and most of them you don't have a chance to really look through. You look some of the highlights. And I set up the last 2 nights with this book and called A Reasonable Doubt, and got so fascinated. I guess the lay people who don't know much about the workings of the law, this is all fascinating.
I'm glad
what
you like it,
what
Tom.
you do. Most interesting. One statement you had in here, it says when you are defending somebody, you say the first thing that you tell them is never plead guilty.
Never plead guilty. Every man's entitled to a trial. He's presumed to be innocent until the contrary is proved to a moral certainty beyond a reasonable doubt. And that's his right under the law, and he ought to avail himself of that right.
So never
plead
never
guilty.
plead guilty.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your name? What is your name?
I refuse to answer. No. My name is Johnny Carson.
How do you know that to be your name?
Well, it's on a birth certificate, legally
That's
recorded.
hearsay.
That's hearsay?
Well, of course.
I mean, if it's legally recorded,
That's still hearsay. Suppose you were born, and I must assume that you were born because you're here tonight with us. There's a certificate made out not by you, certificate made out by somebody else, that a boy child was born to Mr. and Mrs. Carson, and that he was named Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that you know that to be the fact. That means you have read that to be the fact. Okay?
Yeah, I see what you mean. In other words, I only have to go by what is recorded.
You're pleading guilty to something that you don't know of your own knowledge.
In other words, I should have said, if somebody asked me who I am, I say I plead not guilty right off. It doesn't go quite that far.
Not that
plead
far.
not guilty. I see what you mean. That is hearsay. I'm only accepting what somebody has
What
said.
somebody else has said.
But that would be legal. I mean, if you come in with a birth certificate, that proves you're more.
Well, birth certificates are legal until they're attacked and proved to be invalid. That has happened, too.
I get such a kick out, I think, about the second chapter of the book on new lawyers who start when they are trying to question a client and the things that they learn in court by not over-questioning or going too far. There are a couple of... Give a couple of
That's very
illustrations.
dangerous. That's very dangerous. The apocryphal story is about the defense lawyer who's defending a fellow for driving while drunk. And the officer took the stand, and the district attorney asked him a question, and he said, yes, the defendant was drunk. All right. Your witness, he says to the defense. The defense says, how long have you been in the police department? He says, 1 year. Well, then he should have stopped right there. But he says, well, just a police officer for 1 year? Does that give you the authority and the learning and the experience to say that my client was drunk from what you observed? He says, oh, no. Well, then what was your reason? Oh, bartending for 18 years.
In other words, quit when you're ahead.
Quit when you're ahead. Quit when you got a no answer or a yes answer, the case may be.
You lose cases.
Yeah,
all lawyers lose cases.
Sure.
Well, when you're defending somebody, say in a criminal action, say it's a capital case, there's so many lawyer shows on television that I'm sure they can be no more closer to the truth, most of them, than...
Most of them are pretty close.
Do you feel really bad if you lose a case? I mean, especially if it's...
I am the most miserable human being on earth when I lose. I go into that trial to win because I believe in it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in it. And when I do the best I know how and something goes wrong, I suffer. Because you've got to put yourself in your client's shoes, you know.
What about the lie detector? We were talking about this device one night.
No, the lie detector is hokum and it's bunk. It's like threatening somebody with a bullwhip. They say to a man, will you take a lie detector test? Now, you can't use the results of a lie detector test in the courtroom. The lie detector depends on a piece of machinery, depends on the person asking the questions. It depends on the physical condition of the person of whom the questions are asked. And it depends also on whether the connections between the machine and the person are put in the proper place.
It really takes a tremendously trained person to handle all this, doesn't it?
But there are none. There are none.
There was a case in the newspaper the other day where some little girl had gone in for a secretarial job in Washington, the government, and they strapped a lie detector on her, and then some guy who'd been with the department for, 2 weeks with this machine was asking her all kinds of personal questions and so on.
Certainly, but what they use it for, it's an instrument of fear. They say, now, if you're not guilty of this, well, why don't you take the lie detector test? In other words, indirectly making you testify against yourself.
And nobody has to testify against himself.
No, nobody has to testify against himself. Now, you'd find, I've seen some of these lie detector tests, and I think the fellow who was taking them in this particular series, he should have been convicted of some crime or other, mopery or something, because it was terrible what he did to this poor unfortunate.
How do we do away with things like that?
Well, we don't accept them in the law. We don't have anything to do with them.
And yet still people are kind of coerced into...
They're coerced into it because they feel if they say that, well, I won't take it, why, that indicates that something wrong. And it's a very bad thing.
But is there any way possibly that you can by law, get rid of people using lie detectors?
There's no law for it and no law against it.
But you would
if
advise...
anyone asked me to take a lie detector test, as we use that term commonly, nothing doing.
In other words, would you advise the average person not to take a lie detector test?
I would advise everybody not to take it. It's of no value in the courtroom. Can't do you any good. Why take something that you kind of 100% chance of losing. Can't do you any good and you can't win.
Let's talk about the Fifth Amendment a little bit, because this is a term that has been bandied around very much in the last few years, because I guess a great deal of congressional investigating committees, and where people have said, I refuse to answer. It's almost become a gag now. But
and he is now going to investigate some particular subject that he has chosen.
Well, let's just take the entertainment business.
Oh, the entertainment business. Yes, there's been something going on about that. And he decides to sit up, and they put the cameras up around the room, and they call John Doe in. Now, in the first place, the mere fact that they call John Doe, the people say, uh-huh. Why John Doe? Why not Richard Rose? You see? They can't walk you into a courtroom that way, but they can bring you before the committee.
Well, it was in a court of law. They would have to have some reasonable
reason.
indictment
or arrest you in the commission of an act, or file an information or complaint.
But a Senate committee can actually just say, I subpoena so-and-so, and you must come in and answer questions.
You come on in.
All right.
And if you don't come in, the marshal, the United States Marshal, will go and get you. Now they now bring you in. And they say, now, Mr. John Doe, how long have you been connected with the entertainment world? I've been in 30 years. Well, did you know that there is such a thing as overcharging for tickets? Oh, yes. And did you go along with that? Well, what could I do? I couldn't do anything about it. Well, you're in theatrical business. You got a theater, too, haven't you? Yeah. Yes. You're in the theatrical business. You got a theater. You know that they're overcharging. You know that they're robbing the people. And you say you can't do anything about it. Tell me why, Mr. John Doe. Why can't you do anything about it? Now, John Doe has now been held up to ridicule before the people who are watching the cameras. And John Doe hasn't done a thing. John Doe merely is a hard-working man. He owns this little theater, and he is now put in the light of a man who's conspiring in some way or other to overcharge people for admission to his theater. Well, now, if John Doe says, gentlemen, I refuse to testify, then the senator will say, you refuse to testify for what reason? On what ground? Now, John Doe's there all by himself. There's nobody there to help him. Well, he says, I guess, I just don't want to get into this. Well, that's no reason. And suddenly, the American John Doe thinks of, take 5. Is it on the Fifth Amendment? Well, now, wait a minute. How can you refuse to testify because the Fifth Amendment, you've got nothing to worry about, have you, John? No. Well, then why don't you testify? Well, I'm not going to testify. Now, John may not want to say that one of the men selling tickets overpriced in violation of that particular ordinance might be a friend of his, might be a relative of his. So now John Doe has committed no crime, has done nothing that he ought not to do, violated no law, doesn't want to hurt Sam Spivens or whoever it is. Now John Doe is now cited into court to show cause why he shouldn't be held in contempt of the committee for using the Fifth Amendment. And there, some time ago, was a book put out by a United States senator. Most all of the book had to do with the committee hearings, a rehash. Mm-hmm. And there was only one chapter in the book was worth considering. And that was where he said that too many people were availing themselves of the right under the Fifth Amendment. Well, if the Fifth Amendment is not good law, if we are to be called criminals because we use it, well, then let's take it out of the Constitution. Let's get rid of it. Now, you will recall history, or the reading of history, rather, that we had some difficulties with Great Britain about Star Chamber proceedings, where they brought you in, sat you down, and gave you a rough time to make you
testify. That's why we put that in there.
In other words, the Fifth Amendment was set up to keep people from testifying against themselves. In other words, no person can be allowed to testify
That's right.
against himself. Now, is that a good amendment?
Well, certainly it's good.
Then why has this slur been attached to it?
Because of the way it is applied, Johnny. I am now the senator from Chocomo, and I have ambitions. Now, there's no way that I can get on these machines quicker, except on the Johnny Carson show, but no way quicker than by organizing a committee and investigating something of some general interest. They investigated crime, all the crime in the world. Johnny, how many cases were prosecuted in the court of law?
None that I know of.
But look at the record of how many people they've smeared and destroyed, how many families they've ruined.
There are people now who cannot get a job in this country.
No, can't get a job.
Not only in the entertainment industry, because they pleaded the Fifth Amendment. Now, whether they were guilty of anything is not the case at all. But suppose someone many years ago, when there were a lot of popular organizations that nobody knew what they were, and people seem to forget that during the war, we were an ally of Russia, and many people, it could have been possible for me or anybody to join some organization, Friends of So-and-so, on the surface, a well-meaning cause. And so you joined it, maybe you went to a meeting, maybe you didn't, but you just maybe signed up for it, you were on a letterhead. Now you were called in, as you say, in front of a committee, and he says, did you attend a meeting of so-and-so in 1938? All right, if he says, yes, I did. He says, who else was in attendance?
Right.
Now, I don't know what I would do in that position, but I certainly don't think you would want to turn around and enumerate 10 people that you know who were there.
Johnny,
so you say, I refuse to testify on the grounds, and you're dead anyway.
If you said that there was just one other person.
Now, there's Henry Morgan, say, for example.
Henry Morgan. Then there's a conspiracy between Johnny Carson and Henry Morgan to violate this law. Now, you may have been in this meeting, never even discussed it. You may have been talking about girls or something beautiful or anything you choose, nothing about this matter. But now the moment that you say, yes, I was there, who else was there? Henry Morgan was there.
I wish you'd use somebody else. I really do.
Well, you were there.
As a matter of fact, sir, like, I lived through this.
Well,
barely lived through it.
It's a very bad situation. You're now guilty of a conspiracy. Now, if you say...
You didn't have to join anything, you know.
Nothing.
If you just went to a dinner, which happened to me, somebody would say, are you for middle-income housing, we'll say. And that was pretty close to what it was. I said, yeah, I guess so. They said, would you come to a dinner, the thing? 10 years later, some brilliant man comes around and says, oh, you went to a dinner for the thing for the income, the housing. I said, yep, and I do it again, you see. Well, there was a communist organization that's sponsoring that. I said, well, why didn't you tell me 10 years ago? No, now I know that too, now. But when you tried to do good, you could get killed. I was for the housing. I didn't know who was.
Well, this is exactly why the Fifth Amendment has become
it's dangerous.
It's become muddled, and because if somebody takes it, you are guilty because you take it.
Sure.
It's the Fifth Amendment, they say, and that's it, and it kills you.
Well, Mr. Ehrlich said in the beginning, it's the fact that they call you in.
Why are you there?
Now you're in trouble.
Why are you there? That's all.
Now, you know, when they had this, I want to say ridiculous hearing, and I'll call it that, down in Washington about television ratings.
Oh, yes.
They asked me to go down. Now, I said, what would happen if I would refuse to go? I said, they said, well, they would issue a subpoena.
That's right.
So I went down to Washington. I talked about it on the show. For this, they were investigating television ratings. Now, nothing has ever come of that. People have been familiar with television ratings for ever since radio has existed. I don't know what they think they were going to do about it. They exist. And we went through a whole lot of stuff. He says, did you ever lose shows because of a television rating? And the naivete of the question, I said, yeah. Did you know other people lost them? I said, yes, Senator, I did. And they went on and on and on. And when it was all over, nothing ever happened about it.
No,
but if you don't
except
go...
that they got some publicity.
A lot of publicity. It was on television.
And then there's another thing you should remember hereafter, Johnny. Never volunteer to go. You want me, you subpoena me. in addition to...
In other words, rather than accepting, I should have been subpoenaed.
That's right.
Well, I just
Because
figured
then
if
you
I
brought
didn't
in
go-
there against your...
In other words, rather than accepting, I should have been subpoenaed.
That's right.
Well, I just
Because
figured
then
if
you
I
brought
didn't
in
go-
there against your will and desire. So you brought in.
Ah.
You see, you're not voluntarily going in there. And then when you're brought in, you may exercise such rights as you have under the law. I wouldn't do that. Because you might have...
I had a lawyer with me. He got 20 years. I haven't... So, in other words, you believe if the Fifth Amendment is not a good law or it's not serving a purpose, then we should get rid of the law. The people should write to their legislators and say, let us get rid of the Fifth Amendment.
Well,
but if you do that, then aren't you right back where you started again? Then you go in front of a committee and you must answer.
No, but I said that in connection with enforcing the law.
Mm-hmm.
If the Fifth Amendment is the law, then you should have the right to use your right under that.
Without being
condemned because you avail yourself of that right. Now remember this, Johnny, that we speak of our forefathers who gave us this Constitution and gave us all of these rights as Americans. Well, our forefathers didn't do anything of the kind. The men who wrote, and I'm referring to the men who wrote the Constitution. The men who wrote the Constitution wrote a beautiful, lasting document. But the people said, we will not accept this Constitution unless and until you guarantee to us these rights. Don't force us to testify against ourselves. Give us a lawyer when we go to court. Supreme Court of the United States has just discovered that lately. It's been there for many years. Give us a right to trial by jury. Don't take our property away from us without taking care of the cost of it, without going to court. Don't destroy our right to freedom of speech. Don't destroy our right to freedom of thought. Don't destroy our right to freedom of religion. It was the common man. These people sitting here, all of us, in those historic days, who insisted on these rights. Now, we fought for them. We've fought wars since then in the name of these rights. Now, if you're going to condemn us for using them, then let's get rid of them. Let's go right back to where we started before the American Revolution and say, well, shucks, let's throw the whole thing out. This whole thing hasn't worked.
One note you had in the book there, which is interesting, because a lot of people say this when you say the Fifth Amendment. They say, well, it has protected a lot of gangsters, or criminals. Probably true, but the point you made, it has also protected a lot of innocent people.
It has protected the innocent. Now, the basic philosophy of our jurisprudence, Johnny, is that you may let 1,000 guilty men go, but don't convict one innocent man.
We only have about 40 seconds to say goodnight. I wish we had another couple of hours. It's been that fascinating. And I hope whenever you feel like you want to come back and spend some time, Mr. Ehrlich, I would be delighted to have you.
You're very gracious.
You just mentioned... Thank you, Henry. Thank you, Arlene, for the reading tonight. Good night.
This program was recorded earlier this evening.
She left 1 to 10 for his wife, played by Courtney Thorne Smith.
Not everything is that important, okay? Potpourri, 2. Okay? The size of your ass.
Well, that would be a no.